Okay, everybody. Hello, good evening. We're starting sitting. So come down onto your mat. Bring your legs into a comfortable cross-legged position or anything else. Sit on a block, bolster if you need to. Wriggle your spine up nice and tall. Relax your shoulders. Settle your eyelids down and take a moment just behind your closed eyes to see the inner landscape of your body. How are you sitting? Is there any way of refining it so you feel a little more even in the left and right sides? Can you maybe draw yourself more up through your central axis, get taller to the crown of your head, and feel like everything else kind of slips down off the slope of that tall central axis? Breathing through your nose, a few breaths just to center yourself, to invite your mind to join you more fully in this moment. So it's like your mind is riding your breath as you breathe in and out. Your mind following your breath in and out through your nose. One more, breathing in your whole body. Relaxing your whole body. And then open your eyelids back up again. Straighten both legs out in front of you. Lean back into your hands and circle your feet round. So it's like you're digging big holes into the mat through your heels. And circle the other way. And then relax the feet with the toes pointing up and walk your hands in, maybe use your fingertips so you sit up taller, wriggle onto the sit bones. Take your arms up as you inhale and then flow forwards with your arms and your spine, touch the floor and exhale. Come up again, inhale. Exhale, reach forwards, touch the ground and slide your arms back in. Each time, just try and make that nice big reach higher and tip further forwards from your waist as you reach forwards. Inhale up. Exhale, tip at the waist. Inhale up. Exhale, tip at the waist. Just feel this nice flowing action is inviting or asking your body to find a little bit more range with each one. But there's kindness within that range and awareness within that range and reality within that range of where you can get to. So no forcing, but just noticing it gently increase. Couple more. The breath might get fuller as your range gets fuller. One more. Good. And then this time as you come in, bend in your right leg, hold around the shin and squeeze the leg in and out, foot off the floor, just kind of pulsing that leg in and out towards your torso. Bending in at the knee. Now you're going to step your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Push the knee with your right hand and wrap your left arm around it. So you're kind of pushing the knee across so you can get your arm around more easily. Right hand on the floor behind as you twist. Keep drawing the leg toward the left as you twist toward the right. Both sit bones on the floor and use your sit bones to sit tall, to find the central axis that you were looking on with your eyes closed, and see if you can find that now as you twist tall on your central axis. And then come into center and let your knee drop down toward the other knee, bringing your foot round toward the left hip. Hands on the floor, inhale, lengthen up through your spine. If you feel like you need the hands behind, then that's fine as well. And exhale, fold forwards a little in your spine. Feel there's an extra stretch in the back of your left leg as your right leg is bent on top. If you need to keep your hands behind, you're just pressing the ground back and trying to send the spine forwards from the hips. And then come back up again. Bend the right knee into your chest once more, holding the shin, and lower down onto your back, floating the left leg off the floor. Use the hold of the shin to keep your head and chest lifted, and then tap into your belly muscles, keep them engaged and float your arms, relax your shoulders. Use your tummy to keep the abdominal curl lifted. And then when you come down, lower the left leg, hold onto your right leg. You're going to bend the left leg in and drop your left knee out to the side, like you're doing a half butterfly shape. Keep holding onto the right knee, but bend the right knee out wide to the side. And you either keep it like that, or take your right arm inside the leg, lift your foot a little and catch the outside edge, the little toe edge of your foot. So you've got half happy baby with one leg and half butterfly with the other leg. I like to rest my left hand on the inside of the left thigh just to encourage it to open a bit more, but if your arm doesn't reach there, that's fine. You could rest your hand on your belly or the floor. Add a little pull on the sole of your right foot so the knee goes further down toward the ground outside your shoulder. Lift your left knee back up. Use your arms to support you. Keep the leg shape and roll onto your right side. So your right leg will be in front of you and your left leg will be to the side of you. Right hand on the floor. Open your left arm as you inhale. Turn your chest. Exhale, just reach your left arm through the gap underneath. Inhale as you open, turning the spine, turning your chest. Exhale, threading the arm through. Inhale, open, wide chest. Exhale, thread. Keeping your right arm straight, but pressing through your right arm so you stay strong right up to the shoulder. Trying to keep space in your right shoulder. One more time. As the left arm opens this time, place the left hand behind, lift your knees. Both hands are behind you with your fingers turned forwards, feet are hip distance apart. Tuck up the tailbone and lift your hips off the floor for a reverse tabletop. Press to the inner edge of your hands and try and squeeze the arms narrow behind, standing into the soles of your feet. Lower your bottom back down again, straighten both legs out, and again wriggle onto your sit bones, sitting tall. Hold onto the left shin and squeeze the left leg in and out. Using your hands to guide the leg into whatever amount your knee can comfortably and honestly bend in. Trying not to use excessive arm strength to force in the knee joint, but just a good communication between your arms, helping your leg to bend. This time, step your foot outside the right knee. Press the left knee with your left hand and wrap your right arm around. Left hand then goes behind as you twist, look over your back shoulder. Keep your right toes pointing up, your left knee pointing up, and your spine pointing up, tall to the top of your head as you look over your back shoulder. Breathe up and down your spine like your breath is helping to elongate you softly. Turn forwards, and this bent leg we're going to try and bring further over. So your left foot comes towards your right hip, the knee starts to point forwards more, either fingers behind or hands in front as you bend forwards. Feel how the hip creases sink down, so your hip folds going deep as you bend forwards. And then as you come up, uncross the leg, hold onto the shin again and roll down onto your back, using the shin to control the roll. Right leg can hover off the ground. Keep holding the shin so you can lift your head and chest. Then use your belly muscles to stay there. Extend your arms if possible and soften your shoulders. If there's pain in the back, you can take your hands back onto the shin again, and you can even lower your straight leg down. If there's pain in the neck, you can do this with your legs, but the head and the arms on the floor. Couple more breaths. And then lower down, keep the left knee in. Bend your right leg and drop the knee out to the side, half butterfly. Bend the left knee out wide, so it's wider than your shoulder. And maybe the left arm inside the left thigh and catch the outside edge of your foot. So your arm actually goes in front of your shin. The sole of the left foot facing the ceiling. Half happy baby. Half butterfly. Relax your shoulders and be open across your chest. Your right knee comes to point up to the ceiling. As you let go of your left leg, turn onto your left side so the leg shape stays the same. Left hand on the floor. Straighten out your spine, taking your ribs away from your left wrist. Open your right arm, inhale. Thread your right arm through the gap underneath, exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, rotating the spine as you thread your arm through. Keep pressing through your left arm, keeping the left arm straight. Your spine following the opening and closing of your right arm. One more time. As your right arm opens, lift your knees, turn around, both hands go behind, flip the fingers round so your fingers point forwards, feet hip distance apart, tuck under the bottom and lift, reverse tabletop. Press evenly in both hands and both feet, squeeze the back of your arms. Lower your bottom down and turn your toes out a little, shift your bottom closer towards your feet. Push into your fingertips, lift your hips and walk your fingers forward so that you tip forwards into a squat position. If you can't do it that way, then you can do it by coming round and enter the squat from in front that way instead. Elbows inside the knees, hands in prayer position. See if you can keep a nice steady gaze so the eyes will be tempted to look around, to analyse, to watch, to provoke thought. So see if you can keep your gaze steady so there's less opportunity to provoke thought and you bring on more steadiness and calmness to your mind. Hands to the floor in front, straighten your legs out, turn the toes forwards and hold on to opposite elbows, letting your elbows press down into your hands, elongating the back of your body. And let your head fall toward the forearms. Sit bones high, head low. Still breathing through your nose. And then bring your fingertips to the floor in front. So if, like me, you've ended up far back on your mat, just walk your hands and feet forwards and take your toes to turn out once more. So the toes are on the outside edges of your mat and you're near the front of your mat. Take a big step back with your left leg and lower your left knee down to the floor. So now your right knee and ankle are in line and the left leg is out behind. You can stay on long, straight arms. See if you can shift the left knee back a bit further. You can maybe lower your arms down and by all means bring a block in for your left forearm to go on. And if you've got a second block, your right forearm can go on there as well. If not, just lean onto the left forearm, right hand lightly on the floor. If you don't need the block, take both forearms to the floor. Lizard pose, we want to feel the hips sinking toward the ground. And the right knee feels like it draws in and back a little. Come back up onto straight arms and walk your right foot in so it's directly in front of your right hip, toes pointing forwards. Straighten your back leg for warrior one, turning the heel to touch the floor. Take both arms all the way up. Reach longer through your left arm, like your left arm is encouraging the left waist to turn forwards and the left hip to turn forwards. Drop your left hand between your shoulders and put your right hand on the left elbow. Press the left elbow up into your right hand. So from the left heel up the left side, all the way up into the left elbow, you feel long. Draw the waist back a little, firm your waist in. As you release your arms, take them both forwards and lift the back heel so you're on the ball of the foot. Lean forwards a little, as though you're about to take your balance into your right leg. Bring your arms down by your side, step both feet up to the top of your mat, turn the toes back out again, lower your fingers to the floor and step your right leg back, lizard lunge. Lowering the knee to the ground, wriggle it back a little if you need to. Left knee should be in line with left ankle. Start on your fingertips, get nice and long, get the leg positioning good. And again, if you're using a block, you might want to come down with your right forearm on the block and your left hand can just remain supporting on the floor. And if you don't need the block, take it out, go to both forearms. Get the left leg just slightly to squeeze in, just a little, so that the left leg doesn't just become a flop. Trying to keep the foot on the floor. Breathing through your nose, another breath. Up to straight arms. Walk your left foot in so it's directly in front of your left hip. Straighten your back leg for warrior one, heel touches the floor. Arms come all the way up. Reach longer through your right arm like it's trying to turn further forwards, carrying your ribs forwards a little, your hip forwards a little. Feel more extension down your right side. Then drop your right hand between the shoulder blades and hold the elbow with your left hand. Push your right elbow up into your left hand. Keep the back of the heel rooted, paying attention almost to roll to the outside of the heel. Roll your outer right hip forwards a bit more and keep the bend in your front knee. Both arms forwards, lift onto the ball of the back foot. Shift your weight forwards more over your left leg. Bring your arms by your side, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, both arms lift up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, touch the ground outside your feet. Interlace your fingers behind your back, and then as you straighten your legs, let your arms come up and over. Knuckles reaching up toward the ceiling, look between your legs. Bend your knees, touch the ground outside your feet again. Look forward slightly and press through your legs. Inhale, arms come all the way up. And exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Press your arms back. Balance on your right leg. Slide the left foot back. Keep pressing your arms back and lift the back of the left leg. Keep lifting the left leg and tip your chest forwards in line with the left leg lifting for a capital T shape, warrior three. Squeeze the back of the arms and press them up. Step your feet back together. Shoulders roll back, arms press back. Slide the ball of your right foot back. Find your balance in your left leg. Hug in your belly a little. Keep pressing the right leg back and up, straight leg lifting. As the leg lifts, the torso naturally tips forwards. Try and keep your torso and the back leg in line with each other. Keep lifting through your arms, lengthening from your heel to your head. Step your feet back together. Take your feet wide, your arms wide, so the feet are about as wide as your hands. Feet point forwards. Spread out your toes and roll to the outer edges of your feet. Inhale. Exhale, interlace your hands behind. Now firm the muscles in your thighs and bend forwards at your hips, lifting your arms up and over. Look through the gap of your legs. Keep your knees engaging up the center of your legs. Knuckles toward the ceiling, so the shoulders roll away from the earth. Bring your arms to your bottom and then down to the floor, and lift your chest up so your head and your chest are about the same height as your hips. Walk your hands towards your right leg, maybe holding onto the right leg. As you bow over your right leg, reach the left arm towards the far right corner of the mat and pull the left hip toward the back left corner of the mat. Come back to center, fingertips on the floor in front of you, and then walk your hands around to the left leg, holding the left leg with your left hand, and your right hand can keep walking as far as it can towards the front left corner of the mat. And then your right leg and your right hip pulling in the direction of the back right corner of the mat. So the upper body directional force and the lower body directional force are in the opposite directions. Come back into center and we're going to take our first yin pose. Walk your hands around towards your right foot, pivot on the feet, and set up for pigeon pose. So your right foot goes toward the left edge of the mat, and your knee drops behind the right wrist. So you've got the shin bone diagonally across the mat. At this point, you can put your bolster or a block underneath your right buttock if you need to, as you stretch the left leg back. If you don't need the bolster, so that's really good to use if you've got any knee issues. If you don't need the bolster there, you can have it in front instead. And we can take the forearms onto the bolster. Left leg out nice and long behind. You can rest yourself forwards on your bolster, or you can just go straight down to the floor. If there's something you can support your head with, and that feels nice, then take a little head support. Make any little adjustments you need to initially, and then become still. We want to be feeling this in the right hip, thigh, buttock area, as opposed to any pain in the right knee. If the right knee feels uncomfortable and adjusting the position doesn't help, then come onto your back and do figure 4 stretch like this as your alternative, with the right knee pointing out to the side. We're staying for a little while. As with yin, time is our friend. We want to kind of lean into time rather than running away from it and rushing. Relax your jaw. Relax the rest of your face. Relax the best you can your shoulders and your forearms and even your hands and fingers. Relax the soles of your feet into your lower legs, into your upper legs. Relax resistance in your hips. Couple more breaths. Make your way up to straight arms. Roll onto your right buttock. Bring your legs in front of you and just sit with them comfortably. So for me, my right leg wants to straighten out. And I'm going to let it do that so it feels a nice release. You can have both legs straight, sit in a way that's easy for you, and just pause. If you haven't already, straighten your right leg out, bend the left leg in. Turn towards your straight leg, and then bow forwards to the straight leg. So still working on your right side. You can bring your block in to rest your head on, or a bolster, or just move forwards without any props is fine as well. We want to visualize a traffic light system, green, amber, red, and red. So we're on a green light, we can move in deeper. See what signal your body is giving you. If green is saying go in more, then go in more. Initially, just stay in the mid-range amber and sink towards the red end of amber. So moving in from amber towards red, but we don't want to hit red. You just want to lean on the edge of red, the stop sign, just lean into that stop. Try not to move forwards when you get that red signal. When you get that request to stop, pause there. Let your body tell you when it's time to go in a bit further. Another breath. Make your way up. Sitting and pause a moment. Let the blood flow come nicely back into the back of your leg and the front of your body. Hands behind the back of your right knee and bend the leg in and see if you can come back into a squat position facing the long edge of your mat. Hands to the floor in front. Straighten your legs and take them out wide. Any props you need to use, you're going to have them this time at the left end of your mat. So walking your hands round toward the left leg, dropping down into pigeon pose so your left foot walks toward the right side of the mat. And your knee drops behind the left wrist. Right leg out nice and long behind. If you're using anything underneath, pop that underneath. If you want anything to lie on in front of you, have that in front. Start off giving yourself time to get used to sensation in this new shape, on this new side. Let those pathways from your body to your brain to your reaction build. When you feel a good level of communication and you're back into that traffic light signaling, then you follow in, moving from the mid-amber point and maybe even just hanging out in the mid-amber, but edging towards red. Feel there's just enough here to feel a comfortable discomfort rather than just pure discomfort. Something you can tolerate without pain, but feeling stretch and openness and a little more ask in your body. A gentle pull. Let your breath match the style of this session, which is steady, which is slow, which is kind, mindful. Feel all these aspects within your breath. Make your way up, roll onto your left buttock. And again, For me, I feel like I want to immediately straighten that left leg out. Just sit in a way that feels comfortable for you. Pause a moment. If you haven't already, can you straighten out the left leg, bending the right sole of the foot inside the left leg, and turn yourself to face the left leg, coming down, head resting on a block, or just staying with your hands supporting you on the floor. See where you get to. Let your breath gently breathe your spine, so there's this little hint of elongation as well as folding forwards. And another breath there. Make your way up. Pause. Come down onto your back. You can have your bolster for the back of the knees if you want that. But now, bring the bolster up against your bottom, the soles of the feet together and the knees dropped wide as you come down. So feet together, bolster up against the bottom and knees wide. A gentle and a supported Baddha Konasana. Relax your belly, your hip creases, your inner thighs. Another full breath, exhaling all the breath out to really feel the abdominal to leg connection relax. And your knees come in a bit narrower and straighten your legs so the bolster now is just behind the back of the thighs and knees. Let your breath be slow. Feel you're in almost like a space between ground and sky, between heaviness and lightness, between sleep and awake. Find yourself in a space that transcends thought. It's like the space of emptiness, a nameless space. Let yourself shift into that space. A space perhaps you might feel you can only or more easily access post-yoga, when you've done some stuff that helps you, that gives you the key to access this space. Bring your feet up onto the bolster. Press on it so your tailbone lifts and lowers a couple of times, just a tiny pelvic tilt. Push the bolster away, turn to your side, and slowly up to sitting. Hands come to prayer, bow to your hands, bow to the good within yourself. Even on days when we maybe are not so proud of who we've been, and maybe some of the things we do some days aren't the actions we want ourselves to do, but bow to the goodness within, because the moment we recognize things that maybe aren't so good within ourselves means that the goodness overrides. Bow to your goodness, bow to your light, bow to the connection between you and all good souls, and the connection between you and all souls, because all souls are inherently good. Maybe just sometimes need practices like this that help them to shed stuff that blocks the inner light. That goodness, that light within me bows to the goodness and light within you. Namaste. Thank you.